Hey, how you doing? This is Anthony Gray. Welcome again to another episode of Grayscale. This time I'm sort of on this kick about per aerial perspective. Give it kind of a pastel bluey kind of color. And I'm gonna go from the corner and I'm just gonna wave it around a little bit. Just little waves here and there. Just like that. Just wave it. Okay, a lot of like very faint pastelish colors, and this time I'm just emulating more or less the sky. Okay, bring it down here a little bit. It's not too much, it's something like that. It's very, very light, very faint. Okay, now I'll just keep wisping. I'm using the whole brush this time. I'm gonna just wisp and just kind of fade it in like this. Now I'll go back over all of this. I just want to get rid of a lot of the major streaks. And I'm just wisping this color here and there, various directions. Okay. Just like that. And I'll just lightly X-stroke and blend some of that out a little bit. I don't want it too streaky, so I'll just round it all off a little, just like that. As you see, it's very pastel. You can barely see it. It's extremely light, but it is in there, and I just go across the whole thing. Very light, very, very light stuff here going on. Okay. As I'm going in circles, stirring it in, like I said, I'm getting rid of a lot of the streaks and all of that. Now I'm painting kind of in reverse, so it's mainly a lot of the sky peeking through, and the white of the paper is the clouds. Okay, that's basically the effect I want. And I'll start from over here. Oh, from right about here, and I'll just kind of get in a nice little mountain shape in here, like that. Bring it down a little bit. Mainly you want a very crisp edge. Okay, what goes on inside kind of don't matter, as long as you got a nice sharp edge going around in there. You don't want your paint to break off. Not like that anyway. Something like that, it goes off the panel there. All this down here doesn't matter, as long as you got a pretty decent sharp edge hanging around in here. A little bit here, and have it go down. I have it disappear that way. It just fades out that way. Bring some of that color down. We're gonna get a flat brush and we're gonna manipulate and move this around. But right now, this is probably good enough for the mountain. Really your choice of how you want to have the trees. I guess I'll do a tap method here. I'll put some tiny trees, give them some distance here. And I'm just tapping it in a little bit up the hill here. It goes up the hill a little bit, but then it comes back down. And switching my hands here. Go on the other side. We'll bring some of these up into there like that, and get a little stronger down below. Some patches are darker. Some kind of come down. Like I said, these trees are in the distance back there. And we'll have this one travel down here like this. Just a little bit. Just like that. I'm going to get a little bit of umber. Have a nice little dark patch in here somewhere. Just like that. You got to vary the colors a little bit. You know, some of these trees are like almost like in a little gully somewhere. So I'm getting a little bit more umber. Now I'm only working with a few colors. And so far it's just the umber, the sap green, and the phthalo blue. I'm getting a little more umber here. I'm getting some more sap green, putting it into the umber, putting a little more umber into the green. Okay. And a wee bit of the blue, phthalo blue. I hope I didn't say sap blue. Okay. All right. These trees are a little larger. They're larger, but not really too detailed. Okay, so I'll put. We'll start it. We'll start it right from here, just like this. They're in there, various sizes a little bit. I'm just dragging down using the corner of the brush, just like that. Getting some more paint. You want them pronounced and you want them darker. Just like that. Vary them a little bit. I'm not worried about the bottoms. It's just the tops that I want. And I'm not going directly into the trees. I'm going just below them. All right. Just tapping it on there, down below, because you're gonna work yourself up into those trees. Okay. And very lightly, if you want to circle it in there, you can circle them in there a little bit, just like that. And you're just creating a little bit of distance between there, just like that. And we'll fade the stuff on the bottom right out. We're gonna get to the top. You're gonna whiten this up here. Just brighten it up a little bit. Up here, once again, very light, very light. Don't press too hard, very light. You can either circle like this, if you want, up to you, or you can just do the crisscross thing. It's really up to you. Because we're gonna put things in front of this fog bank there. Okay, this is what adds depth to your painting. All that good stuff. Just like that, whisk it right across. Okay. Just like that. All right. Okay. So every layer gets a little darker. Okay. I kind of like the brown and green mix here. I'm getting plenty of it. Now what I am going to do, I'll dip a little bit of my brush into the water, no medium, just the water. A little bit of brown and green mix. I'm using the flat brush that I use all the fading with because it's very handy and it's right here. And we'll establish a little bit of land here. Still on the brownish side though. No medium. No medium. We'll come right here and go straight down. Try to keep it as straight as you can, if you can. If you can. And we're gonna. It's pretty dark. Keep it pretty dark there. I'm just blocking in right now. I'll tighten it up, straighten it up a little bit later on in the process. It's got to be darker than this though. What I have is okay, but it's not the darkness I'm looking for. Not for what I want. Not for what I want. So I'm gonna get a little bit of red in that umber, a little bit of blue. It's got to be dark. And I think I just about got it. Just about. A little more red. All right, this might do the trick. And come back down again. See, that's a little bit on the bluish side. I might have to correct that, get it a little deeper. Might need a little more red in that. It's dark, but not my kind of dark. Not what I'm looking for. Nah, it can be a little darker than that. So I'm gonna take my red or my blue and my I'm taking my crimson and blue, is what I'm saying. A little more red. That's a little better. That's a little better. Now that's kind of the dark I'm looking for. If the tree gets a little bit wider on you, that's also fine. It kind of adds to it, really. Something like that. Okay, I'm still utilizing this brush. Just cleaning off the brush real quick here. It's a 3/4 inch flat brush. All right, let's get to strip liner. No medium, just water. Get some of this nice dark here. And I'm gonna saturate my brush with this dark. Okay, and we're gonna play around with some branches. Come out, press, like so. I'm gonna need plenty more. It's like that, and we'll come out here with this guy, like that, and a series of Y strokes there. Okay. Make sure you have plenty paint on your brush here. Stuff like that. I gotta get a little more blue, a little more red. Get this color pretty deep. Just like that. A little bit of water to loosen up the paint. I use Grumbarker paint, it's a heavier paint. Alright. And we'll pop one out here like that. Nice. A wider, slightly wider one. It's like that. We're gonna get a little more. Put it right out across the mountain there. Just like that. Have it come right across the guy. Come right across that mountain there. Just like that. Get him a little thicker here by the trunk, and then he can thin him out. Got a thicker one here too. Have him. There we go. A little bit of water, thin out this paint. was the Cad Red, or I'm sorry, Alizarin Crimson. Alizarin Crimson and Phthalo Blue. Have it come down here a little bit, like that. Have some of these things spider out there. Keep them fairly dark. I'm just thickening that trunk a little bit there. So this fella, he's very old and very dead. Okay. Basically. All right. Very old, very dead. Back to Mr. Palette Knife. I don't have any more white. Hold on for 1 second. I am gonna put just a little dot of white here. Sharp edge. Sharp, 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 sharp edge. And we'll keep some nice bright ones right up here. You don't necessarily have to cross these. They're just the highlight guys. Just like that. A little more white. No medium. You want these guys to kind of stick out there. Smallest amount of water just to loosen up the paint. Mainly on the ends. Try to use the corner of the brush. Okay. Cross a few, go in different directions. Especially around the tip. Point some of them out in the other direction a little bit. Just like that. You can have some float around on the outer edges a little bit if you want. Some down in here. That's really your discretion. It's up to you. Just like that. Okay. Thin brush, hold the solid edge. Okay. And I'll pop in some dark here and there. Establish a kind of round it off a little bit. Don't block them in. Keep more of the stripes. Okay. Just in certain spots in the corner there. Cross them. Okay. And it just establish a little bit of dimension there, even on this. I'm using the tiniest bit of water just to loosen up the paint. Maintain that sharp edge there. And this is more towards the middle here. You don't really need to add them in the edges. Just to darken up the middle a little bit. Just like that. You just want to darken the middle. We're going to add some, because you want some of these branches are aiming toward us, so be a series of cute little dots that's going to form in there a little bit. I'm just going to get some pure sap green, just all sap. I'll put sap green. We'll put some of that sap green because it's a darker green. We'll put it over here by the dark side here. Okay, nothing but sap green. Sap green and a strong chiseled edge. Okay. You'll see some of this. Throw some sap in there. just like that. All right, I was a little bit interrupted, threw me off. Anyway, let's take the tape off. But my board is like, it's been painted over and painted over. So anyway, here it is. Okay, simple painting. A dead deciduous tree, and then you got a gigantic. The pine tree is really close, but you know you see the separate pines and needles and whatnot. And because this thing is bigger, it's up front a little more. Even though this is on the opposite side, it's still further back because one is not as large, so it still appears further away. Okay, the mountain is just back there. Okay, you got the little foothills in the back, and then you got, you know, faraway pines, little fog, the hill here, which goes into the fog, and then you got the big pine tree out in the front. So everything establishes depth. You got the little bird in the back there. As you can see, the clouds are extremely light, but you can still see them. And I did it in the reverse, so now your eye thinks the white of the paper, the actual clouds, and that's the sky. But it didn't appear that way in the beginning. Okay, all sorts of little things you can do, you know, add interest and fool the eye a little bit. All right. Okay, dokie then. I think that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed it and learned something from it. See you when I see you. Peace.